It's a triple-double when they know they in trouble. Going ape shit, whole city like a jungle. I'm the missing piece to the puzzle. Turn up the hustle with the ashy knuckles. Compare me to zero like the jersey on Russell. You know I'm gone off the strong, no muscle. I'm like a pit off the leash.
Wait, Tay Wiggs.
We got Mark Senior here.
Man, the new podcast name, man. We officially drop it today, man. The Pod Fathers, man. We just two cool cats, man.
Cool. Yes,
We back
sir.
at it, man. It's been a long time coming. We want to
We
talk about
back.
what's going on right now in the NBA. You know, we missed out on the trades. You know, people got hurt, people that left, but we're gonna get right into it, man. You know, the small market cities. We know the Lakers and teams like that gonna get their just due. But when you change to the Big Brother networks and the ESPNs of the world and stuff like that, it's kind of hard that to find out that the Cavaliers and Oklahoma City Thunder are the best two teams in the league, pound for pound, East Coast, West Coast. But when you turn TV on, it's the Boston Celtics, Los Angeles Lakers. We know those are the creme de la creme of the
Yep.
NBA
Yep.
world. How you feel about that, Marcus?
Uh, they trying to change it around. I think last week they put the Cavs on national TV. I think it was I can't remember what game it was. I want to say it was Charlotte, but I could be wrong.
No, that's
And
Orlando
then they
Magic. They booted out the way.
yeah, Orlando Magic. There you go. And I think they did it for OKC for a game, but I mean, it's cool right now because the Lakers and Celtics like they good again.
Hmm.
But it was a point where the Lakers weren't good and it was getting all the national TV games. Or like the Knicks. The Knicks wasn't good and it was getting all the national TV games. Now all those former old pioneer teams, they actually good, but we still can get more Cavs and OKC games in there. I mean, I know the Cavs and OKC are blowing teams out, so they ain't really much of a game, but you can still put them on TV a little bit.
That's true. Like looking at that too, you know, you said the New York Knicks. I mean, ever since this prime time thing came off of Saturdays, New York Knicks live on ESPN. Like, what else you want from New York Knicks? Like, y'all had your own network, MSG,
They do.
Stay on Madison Square Garden Network. We don't need y'all on every channel like TBS, TNT. Then you go on MSG. Like, it's not gonna hurt you here now. I know New Orleans Pelicans. We know certain teams don't have the records. You know, other people in other cities want to see their team on national TV. Don't matter what the record is. But like you said, you always get the LeBron James going to draw immediate attention, especially
Yep.
when they picked up Luca. And you see that trade when Luca went to Dallas. I mean, went to not from Dallas, but went from Dallas to LA. And all of a sudden, Nico Collins, I'll call that guy Mr. Drop the Ball. Pause. This the same
Mr. Drop the
guy who was
ball.
working for Nike who tried to sign Steph Curry to a Nike shoe deal. But he kept calling him Stephon Curry. The gentleman that Steph
Stephon
Curry
Marbury.
is, yeah, this, this gentleman that Steph Curry is, he never corrected him. So he just kept going and going on. Then too, it got real messed up. He put to show him his own prototype of the shoe, right? He shows him a Kevin Durant model. So therefore, Nico Collins been dropping the ball since day one.
Forever.
Now, you fast forward about 12, 13 years later, back in the same situation. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving just in the NBA Finals last year. You trade away a guy in his prime. And he said Luka was out of shape, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Get to
Looking
LA,
right to me.
you look in shape to me. And this is going to, if then too, they traded him away. He increased ticket sales by 8%. So with all that
Mm.
being said, Marcus, what was the main factor for the Dallas Mavericks? Look at their season now. How do you feel about the Dallas Mavericks now? If you look at their current situation, what's going on player wise?
It's just a sad situation. It's very sad because they had Luka Doncic, one of the top young players in the league, a potential face of the league. I know that's been a hot topic recently.
Hmm.
And you traded him away for another, I would say, another star player in Anthony Davis.
Right.
but a star player that's injury prone. And sure enough, he gets there after
Mhm.
one game. He's hurt, and then the most unfortunate of luck, Kyrie goes down,
Right.
with the ACL. So now it's like they in no man's land. They gotta lose and lose fast to hold pace. I don't even know if they got their pick, but if they do, they gotta enter in the Cooper Flag
Sweepstakes.
sweepstakes.
And speaking of that, AD, you know, hate to do it, always damaged. And I mean by he's damaged goods because he asked to be, hey, can we get a center so I go back to playing power forward, right? Rob Pelinka
Right,
said, okay, cool. He kept this. So I got something even better for you. We're gonna trade you for Lucas straight up.
you out of here, buddy.
Now, when you seen that trade go through, and the first thing LeBron said, I knew he was gonna get traded. Do you think he was cat or you think he's telling the truth?
I think he. Hmm, that's a good one. I think I think they all knew a little bit. I mean, because the way how it went down. Even Anthony Davis, they all was like happy. I didn't see no frowns on anybody's face. Especially when they matched up against each other, and of course Anthony Davis in street clothes, but it was all daps and hugs. It wasn't like no bad blood that I could see.
He
The
shit street
only
clothes.
bad
Charles
blood, only
Barkley.
person that really didn't know was Luca. It seemed
Right.
like everybody else seemed like they had some sort of knowledge
Now that's the funny part about that. You call them street clothes. That's what Charles Barkley called them. So that's funny to me.
of
But
it.
when he got traded, the first thing Anthony Davis said, uh, I didn't know I was gonna get traded. But hold on, you had a no trade clause in your contract. So for once, you said you didn't know you was gonna get traded. They called you that hey, it's a possibility you may get traded. Would you trade your no trade clause for X amount of money to go here? If he all he had to do is say no, and he wouldn't trade him. But by him saying yeah, that means low key you want to out in some
He
type of
wanted
shape
to
or form.
leave.
You want to leave. So you look at then you get to Dallas. Yo, me and Kai been trying to team up for the longest. That might be the case.
True.
Kyrie gonna be out for this year, and gonna miss next year too as well.
He gonna be most of
So
next year too. Yeah.
Derek Lively out, Daniel Gafford out. So you got all your bigs out, right? That hurts. And if they had their team healthy, they'd have did some damage. Then two, we don't. You got Clay Thompson out there. Poor Clay. Just catch and shoot. Can't dribble. Can't create his own shot to dribble. He is what you call the
Really a
poor
bad
man's Wesley Person.
Wesley Person. That's a throwback.
Right. Hey, poor man's Wesley
Cavs
Person.
legend.
Right. Look, the only way he get open, you gotta run screens and picks for him. That's why Golden State let him walk. Just test the waters out there. Now, Kyrie gonna be out to half next season. You don't know if AD gonna come back. Now, on top of that,
I think they're gonna
Clay
shut him
Thompson,
down. To be
Clay
honest, I think they're gonna
Thompson
shut him
may not
down.
come back either. So, do you think Clay Thompson regret for not signing with the Lakers?
Now he do. Now he do. But before he was playing with Luca. Now Luca on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you think about it, had he signed with the Lakers, I don't even know if this trade is possible. I'm thinking more people are involved in the trade if Klay Thompson is on the Lakers. Like I don't think it's as clean as AD and Luca. Pretty much, there was some other things involved, but it's pretty much a straight up player for player trade. Uh, and I think if Clay is over there,
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas asks for more.
Okay. So we're
If
gonna.
um,
I hear you.
minus, but it seemed like they just really wanted to get rid of Luca, which is very bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Like the excuses they gave is crazy.
Right. Now we're gonna move along from the Lakers. We know we gave them a shine. So we're gonna take a pause. We're gonna take a little break. These teams right now, this Boston Celtics, the second seed. You know you got the play-in game. You got the 7
Yep.
seed Hawks and the 8 seed Orlando Magics on the crash course. Whoever win that playoff game, that playing game would meet up with the Boston Celtics. The other playing game would be the 8 seed Miami Heat take on the 9th seed Miami Heat and the 10th seed uh, Chicago Bulls. Whoever win that playing game would host the Cleveland Cavaliers. So
No, so I think that they would play this playing stuff, man. I think they play the loser of 7-8,
for the 7
and then
8.
the
So
winner of
so
that.
double game elimination.
Yeah.
Ooh. So
So
my
7-8
apologies.
got two shots at it. I
Okay.
only reason I remember that is because the first time the Cavs went, they lost twice. They had 2 shots and lost twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. That's when they first picked up Karis LeVert.
Yep. And then before they had Donovan, so it was just Darius, Karras, and Mobley. I think they may have had Allen then too,
They had Jared
but
Allen.
they just didn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ricky Rubio got hurt. Ricky Rubio was
That's what it was. Ricky Rubio got
the
he was
Ty
the missing piece.
Jerome of that season.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
tricky Ricky. But when you're looking at the other possible matchup in the playoffs, the 3 seed New York Knicks, the 6 seed Detroit Pistons. Remember I told you, Marcus. I told you. What did I say before the season started? I said, hey man, the team I said, look, I'm gonna get this league pass. I'm gonna be watching Detroit Pistons. JB Bickerstaff
Detroit
gonna have them boys
basketball.
playing good. They're gonna play tough-minded basketball. They play Detroit basketball. They playing gritty.
And that's exactly what
K
happened.
K Cunningham. I told you that K Cunningham is gonna be a breakout. Not only was it breakout, he was an all-star.
All-star. He gonna be first a all NBA guy too.
Big payday coming.
Like,
Do
yeah.
you,
Oh yeah.
when he got drafted on draft day, remember he had the Cartier frames, and
Oh, yeah. I
they
remember
was like,
this.
I was
I
like,
just
yo,
watched this the other day.
I was like, yeah, you know what? Him with the Cartier frames on, he didn't know Detroit. Like I'm here, and he got
Yeah.
everybody coming back. They need to go back to the old announcements when they play introductions. Because Cade Cunningham, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's another guy on their team who don't get no recognition because he do all the dirty work. He's a Draymond Green of the East Coast, Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart. I was just about to say that them guys want to fight every game too. Isaiah
Nothing.
Stewart is the lead dog. He want to fight every game.
Look, nothing easy in Detroit. They play you
Right.
tough. They like you had a game a night ago against the Golden State Warriors. He pushed that like, man, stop dancing in front of our bench.
He like, hey, I ain't with that.
So when I look at the
That was
Detroit
like, do you
Pistons,
know who I am?
hey, when you look at Detroit Pistons, that New York Knicks type of playoff matchup, if the playoffs start today, even though we might get an edge to the New York Knicks to probably win that series at 5, if not a sweep. But Detroit is one hell of a basketball team, and then when credit is due, and JB Bickerstaff can be easily a candidate for Coach of the Year. If not, he might be the Coach of the Year. He doubled their wins in 2 seasons, and
He's
not
a heck
only
of a coach.
and not
I
only
thought I
that.
liked him here in Cleveland.
Yeah, look, not only he was good at Cleveland, but not only that, Marcus. Not only did you double their wins, they are not a play-in. They're not a playoff. They're not a play-in team. They're a regular playoff team.
Team, right? They fighting for a top 6 spot.
Hey man,
They
shout out
may
to
even
them.
look.
Look, you don't want to play them. They got everything. The only piece they're missing is they lost their shooting guard, their small forward, Jordan Ivey. I mean Jaden Ivey.
Oh, yeah.
So you're looking at what people stepped up like who was that Malik Beasley over there, and
Malik Beasley,
he's
Paul
from
George Thompson.
man Duran. So you're looking at, hey, they got some cats that can go. Hey man,
Yeah, they do.
hey man, shout out to everybody at 313, man. What my dude say? Detroit basketball.
Basketball.
Now going to these New York Knickerbockers. We know you seen the injury with Jalen Brunson the other night, Saturday night against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's a severe injury, a high ankle sprain. You're gonna miss up for the next 2-3 weeks. Could that hurt New York Knicks? Could that make them fall out the 3 seed and possibly a play-in team?
I think so. No, I think they'll stay in the playoffs. Let me not say that. I think they're gonna fall, but they ain't gonna fall out of the top six. I think Cat has had one of his better seasons. It seemed like the trade helped him out. He's
Hmm.
uh he's playing like actual center. You know, he ain't got Nas Reed no more, so he's like the lone big man, and he's doing pretty good. Uh, but a lot of their offense go through Jalen Brunson, so I don't know if Tibbs can pivot like that on the fly and run it through Cat. I mean, he's done it before when Derrick Rose went out in Chicago, and then they start running it through Joakim Noah.
Hmm.
So he does have some history of kind of changing things on the fly, and especially on the offensive side, and changing who's the kind of do it other team. But I don't know who's going to pick up that on the guard spot. I mean, I know they got what's his name, McBridges or McBride.
Hmm.
I think he's a good person to step up and fill in some of the burden that Jalen Brunson was going to take on. But this late in the season, losing a guy like that to a high ankle sprain, it can't do nothing but kind of deflate you at least for a little bit.
Yeah, you lose him. That guy's easily a walking bucket. A left-handed shooter, can score at will. I don't care who's on him. He can get to the cup. I would say the second best scoring or third best point guard in the league, probably behind a Kyrie Irving or a SGA. When you looking at these guys,
Right?
you losing all Marcus. They losing 27 points per game. So where are you
That's a
gonna
lot
get
of
the other
points.
27 from? Mikal Bridges got to step
That's a
up.
lot.
Josh Hart definitely got to step up because Josh Hart mainly scored about 12, 15 points per game. So
Right. OG. All
so
those guys got to take it up a notch.
so you're looking at stuff like that. Can Duke step up and do something for them? Man, that's a lot. Carl Anthony Towns, are
It
you
is.
expecting Carl Anthony Towns to pick up that much scoring ability? Because certain nights he plays soft.
Sometimes you do. I mean, but since he's been with Tibbs, or back with Tibbs, I should say, it seemed like he's been trying to prove Tibbs wrong. Because I feel like when his first stint with Tibbs in Minnesota, Tibbs kind of painted maybe not Tibbs, maybe that's more Jimmy Butler, kind of painted him and Andrew Wiggins as soft. So I'm guessing he's trying to kind of shake that off. And he may play through. He may fight through it. He had some adversity in his life. He had some family past
Hmm.
that may have gotten him over the hump to kind of play with one more grit.
Now, we know Mitchell Robinson is back. Do that take,
How long though?
yeah,
How
but how
long?
long is he back? Is that enough for the next 2 weeks to get what they need to do?
I mean, it's gonna be enough for defense. But he don't do nothing on the offensive end. So like you said, that 27 points, he ain't really helping make up none of that. He may help stop the other team from putting points up, and that may balance out. That may be enough, but I don't know if it's 27 points worth. That's a lot of points.
But about so we're gonna move on from that series. That's you got the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers. Milwaukee Bucks is quietly handling business. But the unforgotten team so far in the East has been the Indiana Pacers. Number 5 team, a solid 5, a
Yeah,
potential
yeah.
defensive player over there too, as well as Miles Turner going up against
Mhm.
the Milwaukee Bucks. Dame is doing his thing. Giannis is on minute restrictions. Tyrese Halliburton, he's had a roller coaster season, but he's still been efficient. But they still got that. That's a nice young core team in Indiana. And if those two teams made up in the playoffs starting today, who would you take to win that series and how many games?
Yeah, I'm saying the Bucks are gonna get their revenge. I
Mm.
think last year uh, they were on the verge of kind of, dare I say, upsetting them because they had so many injuries.
Hmm.
Um, so even with those injuries, I watched I think every one of those games. I felt like the Bucks had a chance. Um, Now with it looks like two healthy stars with Dame and Giannis. Then they got Kyle Kuzma and Middleton place. Uh, I think they'll take care of them pretty quick. I think it'll be five games. I think it'll be a gentleman's sweep.
Now we know Kuz won a championship with the Lakers. Everybody calls it the bubble, the Mickey Mouse ring, whatever. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, Mickey
Championship.
Mouse.
Just hey, some people just
Big
mad because their team.
cheese.
Yeah, they just mad because their
Right,
team
like
ain't got
Deion
one.
Waiters, big cheese.
A lot
Right.
of hate.
Champ cheese.
A lot
Cheese.
of haters out there that's not percolating. Um, is Kyle Kuzma enough for the Milwaukee Bucks to get Giannis and Dame to an NBA Finals?
Um, yeah, I think nah, I don't think he enough. Let me not even cap. He enough to get him out the first round, possibly the second round. I got them at ending they run at the second round. I think they get past the first round, whomever the opponent may be. If it's Indiana Pacers, I definitely think they beat them. But then in the second round, who they play? They're gonna play what, the Celtics?
They play the Cavs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely gonna be out. I don't see it happening. Especially after that game yesterday, where it looked like the Bucks was in the run, like they were competing. Like, oh, the Bucks may have a chance if this came to playoffs. And then in the second half, the Cavs depth really kind of showed his way, and that's what the Bucks don't have. I mean, Kuz is good; it's a good addition, but they need like two more players,
Mhm.
two more serviceable players. I'm not saying stars, two more serviceable players
I'm gonna
that
tell
can
you
come
what.
off the bench and give them some points.
I'm gonna tell you what I take away from that game last night. When Dame got the team, when Dame and Kyle got the team back into a 4 points in the fourth quarter. And shout out to Big Baby, free Big Baby.
He big baby.
And the reason I'm saying that because Big Baby said it, Josh Smith said it, Doc Rivers, you are a horrible coach when it comes to game management and substitution. Once once they got the lead down to 4, and you was making a run, it was 8 minutes ago, and Giannis is still sitting on the bench. What was he thinking? Because I'm like, cool, Giannis
Mhm.
been the bench for 4.5 minutes. And they get the lead down to 4 with the 8 minutes. You gonna bring them back in after the Cavs go down hit another three to go back
He
up by
brought him back,
7?
and then
Because
hit another three, and then another one after that.
when you look at the game plan, when you look at that game entirely, I watched that game again. The Cavs should have lost that game realistically.
I
Giannis
mean,
was getting
I thought they were.
Giannis was getting anything he wanted in that paint.
He wasn't. Donovan wasn't on. Darius wasn't really like they didn't have good games.
They
Donovan or Darius.
the Milwaukee Bucks lost to Isaiah Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Matt Strus.
Max Strus, right.
Ty Jerome and Dean Wade.
Dean Wade. That's who they. That's who was in the game when they went on the run.
Matt Strus, that heat culture down there is a little different because every time he shot the ball, he was trailing behind his shot. He did got some putbacks, he got extra rebounds. The
Yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Cavs second string. And that's what made the Cavaliers team so good because, all right, cool. Donovan having an off night. All right, cool. Ty Jerome, come in. Yaka. Oh, Darius, you can't score? Sam Merrill.
Right.
You
I
was
forgot
getting
about Sammy.
you was getting contributions from everybody. Everybody's contributing to what they need to do on the floor. So that the Cavaliers are gonna be a tough outing. Then we're gonna look at this West Coast. Number one overall seed, OKC Thunder. Shout out to Sam Presti. Know what he's doing. Might be the GM of the year.
Might
Maybe
be another
Detroit
year.
Pistons
Okay.
might have the GM of the year. It's some awards to be given out, and not, it's like this might be one year I want to be mad who's get what for certain awards because this is one of the years I would say the league been showing out. The league been showing out.
Mm-hmm.
OKC Thunder, the number one overall seed. The second seed with the Los Angeles Lakers right now. They keep that second seed because Denver lost the other night.
Yep.
The, the Denver Nuggets would be a third seed going against that Warriors in the sixth seed. Shout out to the Golden State Warriors. Since getting Jimmy Butler, what's that record? 10-1.
Didn't win.
And what did Draymond say
Jimmy
during
was ready to go.
look? What Draymond say during All Star break? Hey, if like is one of them years, hey, we might be right there.
Yeah, we gonna win a championship. He
And
said they
right
was
now,
gonna win. He didn't hold back. He said they was gonna win.
shout out to Draymond Green, who believe in his team. They right there. They went from a play-in team to a playoff team who don't have to do that I would say life and death situation. The fourth seed, the Memphis Grizzlies. Their team is up and down. I don't trust them. Too many injuries. Some nights Ja plays, certain nights Jared Allen play. You don't know.
Yeah,
You don't know what you're going to get from Ja. The Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets.
another
Another
team
team
where
with a coach of the year who's doing
yeah,
good.
exactly. I was just about to say that.
I'm glad you had this segment. It's all yours, Marcus, man. You break it down, man. What you think is going to happen? Got the Lakers in
I
second
mean,
seed. And I forgot the play-in teams. Minnesota, a 7 seed,
oh, okay.
going against the Clippers, an 8 seed play-in team. Dallas Mavericks, a 10 seed, and the Sacramento Kings.
I think it's gonna stay. It's gonna be a wash. I think it's gonna stay how it is. I don't think none of the play-in teams is getting in. You know, we know Dallas is on the descent. All their players is hurt.
Mm.
Sacramento, they traded away their best guy. And, I like DeMontis Sabonis. I like Zach Levine. I don't know if I like them all together. I don't know if they have enough. So I
Blow it up.
don't see
They got
them.
blow it up.
Yeah, they got to get rid of that. And they got DeMar DeRozan. They basically got the Chicago Bulls on the West Coast in the
Wow.
last 2 years.
So the Chicago
I don't
Kings.
see it happening. Yeah, the Chicago Kings, exactly. I don't see it happening. I mean, I like those guys. I would be happy if they won, but I don't see it happening. They fired their coach. There's just a lot of disarray in Sacramento. So I say it stay flush 1 through 8. I say they all. I think it may be some movement between 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think they may move around, but I think the OKC is obviously going to stay number 1. Oh, actually, I take that back because I forgot about the LeBron injury. It's
Mm.
a chance they they slide down to 3 or 4. I don't think. I think Luka's motivated to the point where he ain't gonna let him slide too far.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin Reeves, and they got a lot of guys
AR-15.
outside of outside of those guys that can put up some points and keep them afloat while LeBron heal up. So I still think 1 through 8 gonna stay, but I don't know what the order is besides OKC being number 1.
But now
And
so I'm glad you said Sacramento Kings. You said the Chicago Kings. The Chicago Bulls of the West. Speaking of that, this is speculation. I don't know how true it is. Jeremy Lambo, who just played for the Charlotte Hornets, Indiana
yeah,
Pacers. He's dating
UConn finals.
the UConn Finance. He's dating the owner's daughter, the Sacramento Kings. They say he has an input about
You always
certain
have a
players.
job.
So when I look at it, they say Lambo has an input about who stays in Sacramento.
Man.
How would you take something from a guy who is a subpar star in the NBA and who hasn't played up to his fully
Um,
potential, and they taking advice from him? The last team he played for was the Charlotte Hornets, and with the team that he's with that he's currently representing now, the Sacramento Kings. They won a playoff team when he was in Sacramento. We taking. Are you guys stupid enough to take some information and advice for Jeremy Lamb? Come
I
on.
mean, that's real sketch. I mean, what type of information they getting from them?
Talk
I
about
mean,
certain
it ain't
situations.
working out.
As if it's true. They said he makes some player like, yeah, we should trade this player away or get this player. Dude, the Sacramento Kings look
You need to
horrible.
flip them then.
The team don't look the
You need to
same.
become a front office guy.
I'm sorry, Doug Christian. I know you played for them, but your philosophy when I'm watching them on defense and offense, Mike Brown's the better coach. They only brought you there because you used to play there, and it gave you a
Don't his
job.
son play? Ain't
Who?
his son on the team too?
I,
Doug Christie.
for the Kings, I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't want to go off that. But there's a lot of teams. This West is pretty. This Western Conference from two from 2 through 8 can all shift in the next 2 weeks. Like literally, they can
Mm.
shift. They're that close. Most of these guys from 2 through 8, most of these teams are only 3.5 games apart from each other.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
it's the wild, wild west. Now looking at this, The team that everybody should be worried about, honestly, from that 2 seed all the way down to the 8 seed, it's gonna be the Golden State Warriors.
Facts.
Honestly, Steph out here shooting threes. He back out there dancing. Draymond being Draymond. Jimmy Butler is
Give me the
the
bullet.
I'm gonna call him the skeleton key right now
Skeleton key. Okay, I like
because
that.
he can open up any door for them. Oh, Jimmy can score tonight. Jimmy don't have to score. Jimmy can be a facilitator. And Jimmy can play defense. Jimmy can play defense on the
Not all.
best 3-man on the opposing team.
He
Then
can.
too,
He
not
can play
only
just about anybody.
that, only that would make them so dangerous. Hey, Steph, go sit down. Jimmy can run the offense.
Facts.
Jimmy can go get buckets. Jimmy buckets can go get buckets.
He got that name for a reason.
Now, the other night, Draymond Green hit a dagger 3. So confidence
I
is
ain't
back.
seen that in a minute. I ain't seen that
Confidence,
in a minute.
confidence is back. Kevon Looney minutes is going back up. So they getting back to where they need to be. The player, the other guys, the other collective unit is believing. The only person who can step their game a little bit more to make them more dangerous is be Buddy Hield. If you can get him going like how he was
I agree
before
with
the
that.
All-Star break, that team is dangerous. I know I'm
They
a
the
Lakers.
Golden State Warriors of old. They had Klay Thompson. I mean, Buddy Hield and Klay Thompson spot, Jimmy Butler and KD spot, and then all the rest of the people still there. So
When I look at the Denver Nuggets, man, Jokic could be arguably MVP. Marcus 30, 20, 20. That is NBA 2K numbers. That's video game numbers. Not the
you're right.
fastest guy out there on the floor, not the most athletic, but understand basketball. The late great Kobe Bryant said this: AAU in America is so watered down because we don't teach our kids her fundamentals. All the European guys from overseas are fundamentally sound, and they are excelling fast, very fast.
Yep.
When I'm looking at a Jokic, a SGA, a Luke Dort, we can go through a Demontis Sabonis. These are all the European guys, Dennis Schroeder. All of these guys are fundamentally sound.
SGA. Yep.
SGA. This is what you want from a basketball player standpoint. Now you looking at them, hey, you looking at them now. Once upon a time, you would open the Slam magazine, return to the back of the Slam magazine, and read, "Oh, this
And
player won't be here in 4 to 5 years. He probably gonna head back to
right,
overseas to work
a lot
on
of
his
that.
fundamentals." That ain't happening no more. These guys coming over
Nope.
here ready to play since day one. And not to forget Luka Doncic, who's been a pro since he's like 13 and 14 years old. Another fundamentally sound player. The only
Yes.
knock on him, gotta stop whining sometimes to the referees. They all do it, but he does it the most. Then you look at some of the NBA players, the American citizen players that's born over here. Some of them guys lack a lot.
They do. They're like a lot of effort and and know-how in some cases.
They live by the 3, they die by the 3. That's what's going on. And I'm looking at this little playoff end thing on the West Coast. That 4 or 5 seed gonna be very interesting. Ja Morant, young Jalen Green.
Yep.
What's that? What's his name? Is that A-Man Thompson?
Yeah. Hey man, I think it's they
Is it
pronounce it Ah Man,
Man
but
Thompson?
he went on the tear there for a minute.
Hey, and what's the boy name? Hey, Shangoon. Hey, nice.
Jang.
Hey, Shangoon, nice. Shangoon, nice. So Shangoon is a very player. So looking at all this stuff, another juicy topic I want to talk about before we end this segment here on basketball. LeBron James, Stephen A. Smith.
Man.
As a parent, first, how would you approach that situation?
I mean, it's I understand both sides. I mean, Bronny just he gonna be critiqued like any other player.
Yep.
But I also get where LeBron James is coming from in that Massa, even though some of this is on Bron for last year saying Bronny could play in the NBA right now and he's better than so many players on his team currently. I
Hmm.
know everybody has been bringing that up, but it is true. He did say that. But at the same time, Bronny was the 55th pick. I don't even know. I can't name two 55th picks. I can name maybe Isaiah Thomas, who was the 60th pick,
Hmm.
but no 55th pick where we over concerned with their performance. Like they showing his G League highlights. Why do we care about Bronny in the G League? Or when he do get in for his 2 to 3 minutes, he's not impacting the game enough for where we should have full segments where he's like the main topic, which Stephen A.
Full,
did. Even though Stephen A. was aiming it at LeBron, the crux of it was about Bronny James, and like he's a 55th pick. He ain't impacting games right now to have that type of highlight. I mean, but I get both sides though.
55th picks in NBA history. Michael McDonald. Do that name rings a bell?
I don't know what that is.
Never heard of him. Ronnie Henderson. Have you heard of him?
I don't know what that is.
And it's so crazy because this thing is just these are guys. He was drafted to the Washington Bullets, aka the new Washington Wizards. Have you heard of Mark Blunt?
Yeah, I know Mark Blount. Yeah, I don't know he's the 55th pick. That's impressive.
Ryan Bowen for the Denver Nuggets, center.
Mm-hmm. The Bowen sound familiar, but I could be thinking of Bruce Bowen.
What about this guy named Chris Clack?
Chris Clay. I never heard of him.
What about Chris Porter?
Is that Michael Porter Jr. brother?
Nah, this guy got drafted in 2000. Maurice Jeffries from DePaul University.
I actually know Maurice Jeffries, but I know him from DePaul, and I didn't know he was the 55th pick.
Rick Rickard, drafted
I
by the
actually
best
know.
from the Big Ten. Ricky Paulding. What happened? He supposed to have been a big deal. He was a big deal in Missouri.
Yeah,
But he got
I
drafted in
don't know what
04.
happened.
Lawrence Roberts. Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Hibbert Hill, Providence University.
Hibbert. What year was he drafted? I may know him.
That was 2007, my friend.
I don't know. Don't know.
Mike Taylor for the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, yeah, for the Clippers.
Oh yeah, I know Mike Taylor.
Notable players that we probably heard of before. Who has an NBA championship ring? Patty Mills,
Patty Mills. Okay.
2009. Jeremy Evans, a slam dunk champion.
Okay.
Etwan Moore. That's why I had to ask you the name earlier. The reason he wore
Crazy.
50, the reason he wore 55 in the NBA because he was the 55th pick in 2011.
Okay, there we go.
Darius Johnson Odom.
Actually, no, that name sounds familiar. I can't picture his face or his game, but that name sounds familiar. That Johnson Odom.
Samaje Kriston.
I know Samaje Christian. He was I think he was a McDonald's All American. He's supposed to be a phenom.
Marcus Page for the UNC Tar Heels, champions for the Charlotte
Oh,
Hornets.
okay.
Nigel Williams Goss. Never heard of him. Kyle Guy, a Virginia Cavalier. 55th pick to New York Knicks
Huh.
2019.
Huh.
It gets no better than this with this name.
I like a
2020, the 55th pick. This the guy name is Jay Scrub. Never heard of him.
Jay Scrub is
And
crazy.
guess what? He wear 55. Aaron Wiggins, 2021 to OKC Thunder.
So he's doing good though. Aaron Wiggins.
Guy Santos. Never heard of him.
Not ringing the bell.
Isaiah Wong, Indiana Pacers. In 2024, yours truly, LeBron James Jr.
Right names.
So with that being said, only a couple of them got some accolades. Some guys we never heard of. Some guys still got splinters on their behind. Some play overseas. You know,
Yeah.
and the reason I said this, we see you talk about the, like you said, Marcus, the 55th pick that nobody cares about. The only team benefiting from the 55th pick is the Los Angeles Lakers. Bronny sold more jerseys than his dad did
That's
this year.
crazy.
The 55th pick. So that
That's
money,
kind of a big deal.
what they made, what, almost 50 million or 90 something? What they made, like 100 something million of jersey sales off him? We know
On just his
a
name.
third of that, about a third of that goes back to the organization. Which what we call
He
cash
did with
and
his name.
consideration. So
Okay.
when I when I see that Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, yes, I'm a huge LeBron James fan. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Do I feel some type of way? No, because at the end, like you said, Mark, you hit it right on the head. You asked for this. You said your son is better than half
Right.
the league than the guys right now. So if he is, why he's not out there in certain key game situations with you? Why he's dressed? Why he's not on the floor most of the time? Why he's not out there in blowout times?
All good questions, man. All good questions.
And with the basketball eye that I got right here, these eyes right here, is he ready to be on that level? He's there for a reason. Everybody can say it's nepotism. We face nepotism every day. So I'm
Yeah.
tired of everybody saying
Like,
it's nepotism. Somebody knows somebody to get where they got. If
definitely.
you
I
got
mean, uh, I would say Bronny James is an NBA player. I mean, he the 55th pick. I think that's where appropriately selected.
hey, I can't argue with that. 55th pick. We know it. Five on his hand. Five on his hand. That means might be out here. Bye bye. Because LeBron probably want to play with Bryce, and we've been saying before, Bryce might be the better player than Bronny. But
I mean,
I
he certainly got the better physical gift.
but the part that I do feel LeBron James, as a father, you bashing my son on TV. This is part you become a parent.
Yeah.
And he's
Right.
garbage. The G League stand for garbage. That's where he need to be. So not only did Stephen A. Smith call LeBron James son garbage, and you got the players agreeing when it's in the G League, he just called y'all garbage too.
Right.
Do we talk
Like
about
everybody there should have been offended.
you talk about this is the same Stephen A. Smith who gets on TV every day or national time when time for the New York Knicks to play. This same guy who cries about the New York Knicks not being good.
Religiously cries.
Go,
Religiously
my team. Go New York, man. First of all, y'all not that good. Y'all are a regular season team. The coach is not that great. Let's be honest. If I'm going to talk about Doc Rivers, Tom Thibodeau is in the same part. Because last time he won a championship, he was assistant coach to
It
Doc
was
Rivers.
together. It was together, right?
One coach got a great
Crazy.
defense. One coach is offensive minded. One or two can't ever come back and come back and be a pair together. Because Tom
I think
Thibodeau is running players into the ground. Shut up! I'm mad at
he
Tom
had too much
Thibodeau.
success.
He ran Derrick Rose in the ground, man. He routed Derrick Rose.
Ooh,
Blew
ooh.
out Dame, ran him
Robbed us
into the
of some
ground.
prime Derrick Rose years.
Joe
Yikes.
Kim Noah ran him in the ground. The only person that was smart enough to get out there
Man,
is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy. Well, I think Tibbs got let go before he
Right.
could really get abused.
Then
But then he
two,
went to Minnesota.
right. Then two, he also ran down the ground Captain Kirk Heinrich. Like they had a squad.
It
Tom
was nice.
Thibodeau,
Luau Dang.
they had a squad, Marcus.
Man.
They had a squad. They had a squad. When you looking at them guys, I'm talking about flat top Jimmy Butler. The Jimmy Butler I know who I think be defensive minded. When you look at
Right.
Tom Thibodeau, what he's doing to the New York Knicks, and it's so hard for Knicks fans to say about that. Y'all haven't won a championship since 1964. Phil Jackson was the eighth man in that rotation. Square shoulders.
Phil Jackson.
Before
who
the back,
coached for like 40 years.
before the back went out. Tom Thibodeau players, his starting five average about 36 to 37 minutes per game.
That's just a lot of man. That's a lot of tick. That's a lot of tick for an NBA guy.
It's bound for somebody to get hurt. Look at it. Mitch Robinson got hurt last year, playing heavy minutes. You're looking at
Mm.
Jalen Brunson, who just recently got hurt, heavy minutes.
He was hurt. He was hurt in the playoffs last year. I think we didn't he hurt his hand or something.
Mm-hmm. Then you got Josh Hart saying, this New York State basketball, this New York grind. Where y'all grinding to? Y'all trying to play basketball out here with a college lineup with three guys under 6'5".
With three Villanova.
Wildcat.
What are they?
The New York
Wildcat.
Wildcat? Like, come on. You got all them Wildcats. Then not to be funny. Carl Anthony Towns a Wildcat. Kentucky Wildcat. You got
Kentucky
four
Wildcats.
You got
The
four.
Wildcats are running wild.
You got four Wildcats out there with no purr and no bite. Only one person I know gonna break. Realistically, it's gonna be two people that's gonna break it every night in that starting lineup: Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson.
True. And maybe OG Anunoby.
I forgot about OG, but he's been hurt though lately too. He's up and down.
He been hurt before he even got over there, so he just injury prone.
So when I look at these playoffs, it's gonna be some good ones. Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies
I'm expecting him to have
and the Houston
a
Rockets.
breakout playoffs.
Don't be surprised if you get traded.
I can see that happening too. Same breath, I can see that happening too.
Where to?
That
contract.
I think he'll probably stay on the West actually.
Do you think he get traded back east? Do you think it's a possibility he can get traded home? Him and Zion both playing for the Hornets with a young Brandon Miller.
I think that's possible. Or I think, yeah, that's tough. I can see him even going to New Orleans, but
LaMelo on the trading block too here in Charlotte. Quiet as kept.
LaMelo. That would be a nice little lineup. Ja Morant, Brandon Miller, and then if you're saying they get Zion too, but Zion got to be healthy.
Yeah, he do. 264 don't look too bad on him though.
Yeah, he looking pretty good right now. I seen him do a nice little 360.
I mean, he out here looking like Quincy McCall with that beard from I Love the Basketball.
Yeah, with that goatee.
It's so funny though that they wanted to trade Zion, then trade down like him and they didn't move.
I think I don't think they're gonna be able to trade him. I mean, they had a hard time trading Brandon Ingram too. I just think David Griffin, another former Cavs GM, I think he's another smart GM. He ain't gonna just come up off Zion for nothing. And I don't know if it's a trade out there where you get a good value back.
I can see Zion
unless they trade for Brandon. I can see him playing, yeah, for sure. But they're gonna have to give up Brandon Miller. I don't think he's on the team if either Ja Morant or Zion end up traded there, I should say. I mean, I think it's gonna be unless people value LaMelo that high, then you might can get away with it.
Before we close this out, you got any closing comments and concerns? What you want to talk about?
My concerns. I do have a concern, and it's with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Now I mentioned LeBron is hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and I really want to see if Luka's motor elevates to keep them afloat. If he doesn't, then he's going. Even though Nico is already wrong, it's going to kind of validate some of his reasons for trading him. He got to keep his motor up to the point where he kind of carries this team until LeBron get back. If he does that, I think Nico is going to be fired. I think he's going to lose his job if
Ooh,
Luka
in the
Doncic.
first year.
Yeah, I think if Luka Doncic takes his team and keep him at second place, or even they ain't gonna catch for one, but if he keep him at second place while LeBron out, and every player he attached himself to is hurt, I think he may be out of there.
Wow,
I don't know.
remember
I think he may be out of there.
for the last week or so, the Lakers haven't had Rui Hachimura. So you get him back, that's a difference. But shout out to these two people who've been stepping up for them as lately. Dorian Smith-Feeney. Remember, he came from the Dallas Mavericks.
Another Dallas guy.
Other guy,
Dallas guy.
the other guy who been stepping up, I've been saying, man, they need to get rid of him. Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent. He finally started looking like the Miami Heat playoffs. Gabe Vincent. Last year, he was hurt a lot, I think. So I ain't gonna say he played bad. He just was hurt.
And
This year, he's a little healthy.
I'm glad you said that about the concerns because that was one of the concerns I was thinking about. For some reason, the Miami Heat former players, they know when to turn this playoff stuff on.
Dude, they well equipped.
Wherever they doing down there in South Beach, besides going to Wet Willies and all that stuff, them guys
They
playing
probably
basketball.
ain't even doing it that much. The people that play there, it's the guys who visit.
So on that note, this is the Podfather Cast worldwide. Tay Wiggs,
Mark Senior,
we out of here. Peace.
peace.